Hi, it's Catherine with Star Code Coaching, here to talk about the full moon eclipse on October 28th, 2023. So, the full moon in the moon cycle is a time of release, reassessment, realignment. The new moon is the intention setting part, and we're in this eclipse season. So, the new moon was in a solar eclipse situation last week or so, and now we have a full moon in a lunar eclipse situation. So, whatever, if you really are working with the moon cycles and you set an intention, and even if you didn't, but if you did and you're working within the moon cycles, this is a time during this lunar eclipse where things are going to be very obviously working or not working. If you had your mindset on a project or whatever your goal was, if you will know if you are in alignment with your soul, if your soul is happy about your path you're taking, your choices, because things will be going splendidly. There will be all kinds of rewards and great feelings about moving forward within this intention. If things are not going your way and very obviously kind of blowing up in your face, um, that's your soul speaking to you through your karma. That's the karmic lessons, that's the uncomfortableness that comes through the cosmos. Um, well, I read them through the charts, but yeah, so it's all beautifully divine intelligence and it's all for your favor. Um, and you agreed on this soul contract and you agreed to come in and do this work. And if you are misaligned with your soul, if you're not in tune or in touch with your soul, this eclipse season will make that obvious. And it will do so not in ways to punish, but in ways to refocus, to release. This full moon is about releasing what's not working, realizing your connection to your soul's purpose, what is working and what's not working. So there is no failure. It's the universe always readjusts itself for that lesson for you to learn over and over and over and over. Karma. Until you kind of start realizing what's happening and you make different choices, and allow your dharma or your purpose to shine through. So you might be having an excellent, easy, wonderful experience with your progression, or you might not. And there's no wrong answer. It's your soul is always in search of wholeness. Your soul is always in search of being healed and becoming conscious. So your very specific lessons are to that soul's wholeness. Um, so because this moon is hanging out next to Jupiter in Aries, um, the moon represents your feelings, your emotions, and your emotions are your guideposts to your healing. Your emotional triggers are the biggest blessing in your life if you know how and why they're there. And I help people with that in session. So, Jupiter hanging out next to this lunar eclipse full moon in Aries, Jupiter um, is a planet of expansion. So, your feelings might be huge. You might be feeling very intense. You might have very intense feelings in general. And these feelings, because it's in Aries, could be around frustration around your purpose, frustration around some karmic lessons that might be coming up. So, and you might be feeling so frustrated. You might be, feeling impulsive around them. I would caution everyone during this weekend to not make rash decisions under the guise of emotional triggers around frustration. And the frustration can even be bordering anger. Um, because right across from this chart, right across from Jupiter, the planet opposing Jupiter is Mars, and that's the same energy as Aries. So you might and the opposition, the red lines there on the chart, the oppositions are highlighting some challenges, some resistances that might be in place. And because it's eclipse season, we're going deep and talking about on a soul level. So right across from Jupiter, opposing Jupiter is Mars. If you can see that on the chart, and right next to Mars is Mercury. So there's a conjunction of opposition with Mars and Mercury, and they're mostly in Virgo. The place of gosh, the karmic sense of Virgo is exalted with Mercury, as they can karmically bring up anxieties and fears. So you could be having some real intense feelings, around feeling anxious, fearful, and impulsive. Um, so the way you work with this is to, if you can, do this yourself. Is to journal would be a really good way of dealing with these energies, as Mercury is a place of communication and writing, and it's in Virgo, so that's exalted. So if you wanted to start writing, I bet you would, and if your intention was to connect with your soul, a soul realignment to understand what's going on, this would be a great way to work with this energy, is to write down your biggest fears. Write down the lineage of those fears if you can trace it back to, usually it's a trauma, a karmic trauma, to get our attention. Um, and our greatest gifts in life, our raw talents, come directly from our wired default behaviors. The behaviors that are the hardest for us, our lesson, our karmic behaviors, actually yield our biggest gifts. It's funny how that works with karma and dharma. Yeah. So if you're just feeling fantastic and you're suddenly seeing things in a new light, the eclipse part of this equation is a rapid growth. So it's going to be a rapid succession into understanding your soul's contract, your soul's desire, how you're aligned with what you're here to accomplish and do and be. If you're having a difficult time, just hang in there. Breathe through it. Bring awareness to the fears. Trace it back to the traumas. Do some writing to your inner child. Or, yeah, you can do it yourself, or I'm happy to help. Okay, so I think that's everything I need to say. Uranus is over there on the other side of the chart, next to Jupiter, and Uranus is a place of the collective. There has been since late August that you'll see, if you look hard enough, you'll see this beautiful blue triangle that has been there for our collective awakening since August. I see that as a spiritual portal, and an advancement, along with this, the rapid succession of this eclipse energy. We also have behind us, we have this trine of Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune. Uranus being the collective, Neptune being spiritual, and Pluto being transformation. So we've had this collective energy working with us for holding us. There's a mass awakening trying to happen, And that's one of the cosmic energies that are supporting that um, awakening. So you'll feel better in a few days if it's really, 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 really intense with these cosmic rays bringing in these purpose lessons. So good luck to you and happy full moon.